Assault Suits Valken Declassified is a remaster of the original Super Famicom game, also known as Cyrenator in the West. The game was developed and published by Masaya in Japan in 1992, and then published in North America by Konami. Declassified is brought to you by Rainmaker Productions, a Tokyo-based game company founded by industry vets who focused on overlooked games and developers. Assault Suits Valken is a run-and-gun platformer set in a bleak, war-torn future, which sees the Earth's two largest political factions fighting over dwindling natural resources and territorial rights for the moon. On first look, this looks like something straight out of Mobile Suit Gundam, but according to the game's designer Satoshi Urushihara, the inspirations are closer to 1983's Armored Trooper Bottoms in both theme and design. The game focuses primarily on Jake Brain, a Canadian soldier drafted into the Pacific States Marine Corps to pilot the Assault Suit 117A. Jake is part of a three-man assault team stationed on the Versus battleship on a mission to defeat the Federation in order to end the meaningless war. Of course, despite his claims of not caring about patriotism or politics, Jake states that he is merely a soldier following orders. Jake and his assault suit will fight through 7 levels taking place in space as well as on Earth, eventually leading to the capital of the enemy Federation and its leader. Jake's assault suit has an 8-way multi-directional control which can be locked using the left shoulder button. Jake can also dash by double tapping the D-pad left or right or pressing Y. Jumping can be a bit tricky due to the weight of the mecha, so take precautions as to not overcompensate your jumps. You do have a hover option by holding the jump button, but it only lasts for 5 seconds, so timing is very crucial for success. The graphics are stellar as always. The original game had an amazing eye for detail where every part of the scenery can be altered by shooting at it. Fuel tankers explode, gun turrets crumble, the ground is riddled with bullet fire, asteroids explode into chunks and then spread apart. Little touches like this are what make this game seem like a living, breathing world. Your choices in the game can alter the landscape as well. In one particular mission, you have to stop a space station from crashing onto the Earth. Fail to do that, and you wind up watching the impact from the background of the next stage. If you fail too many times, you'll get a bad ending for your trouble, so try to do your absolute best if possible. One of the biggest selling points of the remaster for me was the inclusion of elements from the original game that were censored in the SNES release, including the scene of one of the enemy characters taking themselves out of the equation via Russian roulette. There's restored dialogue that was removed from the game, including chatter with your squad mates and with Claire, your support contact and romantic interest. Some of the restored dialogue actually gives further explanation of what's going on and provides hints into future events, some of which take place in the later sequels. Declassified features a digital version of an 80-page Japanese guidebook, which not only has a full walkthrough, but detailed drawings and images of the mecha featured in-game right down to the product number and titles. Most notably, the game features a deep look into the game's timeline and wars that lead to the events of the game. I didn't even realize the amount of deep lore that the series had, but after taking an afternoon to just read through the guide, I was kind of floored with the level of world building that was involved in this game. Additionally, you get both the original and arranged soundtrack and a music player mode, retro filters to mimic the CRT experience, save states to pick up where you left off, unlockable cheats, a recording feature to show off your skills, and a super play mode which lets you watch a full no-death run of the game, complete with a good ending. There's also a full audio interview with the game's artist Satoshi Nakai about the game's design and mecha designs. The best part is this interview gives so much in terms of information about not just the game but other games as well, including information that Front Mission Gun Hazard was a spiritual sequel to this game, which is funny because Assault Suits Valken 2 takes the series into turn-based gameplay much like Front Mission. Fans of the original game will immediately love the care put into the declassified version, but there is so much included in this version that new players and mecha fans alike will easily fall in love with this game. The replay value is solid. Every time I played through this game, I found something new. The stages are so massive that there's always alternate paths to take and different types of health and power-ups to find. This is the most complete version of Assault Suits Valken, even putting to shame the reissued PlayStation 2 re-release that was released in 2004. You can find this game on digital on the Nintendo Switch eShop, or you can get the physical version via Limited Run Games or through Clear River Games if you want to sleep with a clear conscience. I've been playing this game and Cybernator back to back for the past week, and I have nothing but positive things to say about this remaster. This is exactly everything I ask for in a remaster of a classic game, including retaining elements that might not play well with the currently lacking modern sensibilities. I firmly believe that a good remaster should retain all the elements of the original that made the game beloved in the first place, while giving us new reasons to fall in love with the material all over again. Things like interviews, guides, additional promotional material, much like the TMNT Cowabunga collection, or Castlevania and Contra collections respectively. If you continue to keep giving us things like this, fans will be forever grateful to you, and possibly willing to buy your games with little hesitation. Thank you, and I will see you next boss fight.